Players Lounge at our Macquarie Park training base. My name's David Warrener. You might have met me before or seen me around the club. I was on our Facebook Live group on Tuesday night with a former legend in Pascal Boschart, one of Sydney FC's former defenders. And we thought it went very well. So while many of us are stuck indoors tonight and over the weekend, we thought we'd do it once again and bring you another one of Sydney FC's legends. This time, a gentleman who has won our Player of the Year award. In fact, on the same night, he won 3 Player of the Year awards. Who do you think it is? Somebody's already guessed it. Welcome, a big welcome to former Sydney FC midfielder, Mr. Milos Dimitrijevic. How are you doing, Milos?
Very good, Dave. Very good. Thank you.
Whereabouts are you now in the world? You're obviously not in Australia anymore.
No, I'm not in Australia. I leave Australia around 3 years ago, and now I am living between France and Serbia.
So you're in France at the moment, or Serbia?
No, at the moment I am in Serbia because of the situation here in Europe because of the virus. So I am in Serbia with the family, take care of my grandparents and all the family. But soon as everything will be finished, I will probably travel to France and keep going, working through my business and all the stuff.
Yeah, so you're working. What line of business are you doing now?
I have a company in Paris, and I created and patented a medical device for rehab. It's a quite new method, blood flow restriction training, and I created the safest device in the world to practice this type of training. So we are selling the device to sports clubs, but also physiotherapists, surgeons, sports doctors. Basically, it's for everyone after an injury or an operation to re-stimulate the muscle, to regain some muscle mass, muscle strength with light load. So it's very useful for injury players.
And you've had a lot of success with that?
Yes, thanks God. For the moment, we are happy. We are selling now for around 1 year, and there is already a lot of physiotherapists, but also big clubs are using my device, like Manchester United, FC Barcelona, Inter Milan, PSG, few good clubs. So we are happy for the moment.
Fantastic. Oh, well, we'll add Sydney FC to that list before you know it. And we'll get you back over for a little visit. I know we're not here, obviously, to talk about all of that. We just want to talk about and reminisce a little bit, take a bit of a trip down memory lane about you and your career. Just tell me a little bit how you started off in football, because many people might not know, but your father was a fantastic footballer, played for Partizan and Dynamo Zagreb, and then, because he was such a good footballer, Yugoslavia, I think, as well. Was that right? And he moved you to France, where you grew up virtually.
Yeah, that's correct. My dad was a very, very famous and talented football player here in Serbia. And then he moved in France. So, of course, I moved with him, and I grew up in France, spent 20 years in France, and start playing football there first for fun, but after professionally. So I played 5 years for Nantes in professional, and then 2 years in Grenoble.
Nantes has a very famous academy. Is that right?
Yeah. It was the best academy before. Now not so much. But it's still a very good club with big history. So it was the best choice for me to grow up and start playing football and learn how to play football. So I'm very happy now with my choice back these days.
And after that, obviously, you went on to I think you had a little spell in Italy briefly, and then you went to arguably Serbia's biggest club in Red Star Belgrade. What was that like? Were they the team that you supported as a young boy?
Yeah, correct. I went after France. I went to Italy for 6 months, Chievo Verona, and then I came back in Serbia to play for Red Star, the biggest club here. I mean, there is two big clubs, Partizan and Red Star, but it was. It was not an easy choice because my father was a legend of the opposite club, Partizan, and I chose the Red Star. I'm supporting the Red Star since I'm young, and it was my choice. And like for Nantes, I am happy now with my choice because it was a very, very good experience for me playing for that club, and big memories, good, bad memories, because it's a very passionate fans here, and when the results are good, you are the best. But when you draw or you lose a game, it's not easy. But it's a very, very good experience for all players.
The big derby there, that must have been something to play in.
Yes, big derby. I honestly want everyone to go and see a derby, Partizan Red Star. It's something that really need to be seen. And when you're on the pitch, when you are playing, it's also very, very, very exciting. And I never play another games like that. It's something special.
Of course, after a couple of years at Red Star, you left and eventually ended up at Sydney FC after that. Am I right in thinking that you were thinking about retiring perhaps after you left Red Star before Sydney FC came in?
Yeah, it's correct. Actually, I retired after the Red Star. I didn't play. I don't know if fans and people know about that, but after my 2 years contract in Red Star, I stopped playing, and I didn't play for almost 9 months. And I was living on a Caribbean island called Guadeloupe. It's a French island, and I was living there with friends, enjoying my time and spending time on the beach. But of course, I missed football, and my very good friend Nikola Petkovic was playing for Sydney FC, and he told me that Sydney FC need a midfield, and there is an opportunity for me. So I decided to come back, start train again, and get fit and ready to come to Sydney. So I came in January 2014 for a 4 or 5 months contract, but at the end I stay 3.5 years.
Yeah, of course. And after that initial 4 or 5 month contract, you went on to do particularly well the next season. I think Frank Farina was just at the end of his tenure as head coach in that 2013-14 season, who brought you in. How was that first sort of 5 months for yourself, getting fit again and obviously getting back into football?
Yeah, it was good because I start to play again. I start train again. I didn't train and play for a while, so it was I was happy, but it was also very painful because when you are not fit, when you are not ready, and it's very difficult. I try very hard to stay healthy, but it was almost impossible after 9 months without running at all. Of course, injury came, and I play, I think, a few games at the beginning. My first game was against Melbourne Victory in Melbourne when we won 5-0.
Yes.
And it was a very good game for all the team, but for me also. And I told myself, it's going to be easy. I'm playing with all these very, very good players around me. We won 5-0. before the game, I remember Nikola Petkovic told me, Milos, you will see, it will be a tough game. They are a very good team. Be ready. So I was ready, and at the end we won 5-0. I told myself it's going to be easy. But after a few games, I started to be tired, and I got injured after 2 or 3 games. I didn't play for almost 2 months. And I came back at the end of the season for a few games also for the finals. But it was not a successful season. But thanks God, people were very happy with me at the club, especially Tony Pignata, the sports director. So they decided to keep me another season to see how it will go after a pre-season, and thanks God, it was good, and I won the Player of the Year the next year. So it was a good choice for the club and for me.
I think you won more than just the Player of the Year. You won the Members Player of the Year, I seem to remember, and also the Players Player of the Year as well, which I'm just bringing up a photo of you there, if everyone can see that. 3 awards on the one night. So what a season that was for you, Milos. People don't remember, it was Graham Arnold's first season in charge. So how did you take to Arnie when he first came in? Did he strike you as somebody who was going to turn the club around at that stage?
Yeah, it was the first year of Graham Arnold, and it was a difficult season at the beginning because the results were not very good. But when we start playing better and better, it was a successful season for the team, for the club, for me. But at the end, it was very painful because we lost this grand final. So it was a mixed feeling because I was happy with my season and the fact that I won some awards, and personally I was very happy. But when you are not winning with the team, when we lose this grand final, it was very painful. I was disappointed, and but what can you do now? It's finished, and I am happy that after the next 2 years we won almost everything, and it was a good revenge.
Just with that grand final, because it was a really disappointing night for the club. But what do you think actually went wrong on that day? The second half of the season, as you just alluded to, was fantastic. We were probably, or arguably, should we say, the best team in the league. We didn't finish top, but we had the best record in the second half of the season. And then we beat Adelaide 4-1 during the semi-final. So there was a lot of confidence going into that grand final down in Melbourne. But something just went wrong on the day. I don't know what it was. What did you put it down to?
After the game, a few days, few weeks, now a few years, we are still thinking. I'm still thinking about this game, but definitively it was. We were too confident. We were too confident because, like you said, we won almost all the games the second part of the season, and in the finals we won all the games. We beat Adelaide 4-1 at home, very easy, playing a very good football. So I think we went to Melbourne too confident, and we wanted to play good football. But if you want to win a football game, you need also to fight and to be hungry. And I think we forgot to fight and to be hungry. We thought that if we are playing a nice football, good football, we will win easy. But Melbourne Melbourne Victory were very hungry, more than us, and it makes the difference. I think they literally eat us on the pitch, and after 20-30 minutes it was already 1-2-0, and it was too difficult. Also, we didn't have we weren't fresh physically enough to come back. in the game. So yeah, I think that was the problem for this grand final. Too confident. All the staff, the coach Graham Halnett told us many times before the game, guys, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Be ready for the fight before the football game. But you know, for the players, when you are winning every game very easy, what can you say now? It's finished.
Yeah, it was a very disappointing night. In fact, one of the Melbourne Victory players that on that day scored the third goal now plays for Sydney FC, Kosta Barbarouses. I don't know whether you know that or whether you're still following the club. I presume you are, but he's now joined the Sky Blues. So even though he scored against us that night, we kind of forgive him now.
Yeah. I am following, of course. I have my friend Milos Ninkovic playing still for the club, and of course I'm following through social media. It's difficult for me to watch the game because I am also working, and it's in the morning, so I'm not watching all the games. But also, of course, I am following, and I am still a big fan of the club.
Well, let me ask you about that friend of yours, Milos Ninkovic, because he joined the next season after we lost that grand final in 2015. He came on board the very next season, and I remember when he joined the club actually saying to you, "Oh, this is another Serbian player, played the national team. What do you think? Is he, because you'd had such a good season?" I remember saying, "Is he as good as what you are, Milos?" And I remember you saying, "Dave, he's on another level."
Yes,
was that true?
It was strange because I had a good season, and he came, and people were asking me, "Is he also good like you?" And I told everyone he's better because he's international level, playing World Cup, and very big career. So people couldn't believe, but now I think they believe that he's very good. And of course, many players played in the A-League, Del Piero and David Villa, and a lot of good players. But I think Milos is definitely in the first three best players who ever played in the A-League, and I was really impressed. I knew that he was a very good player, but I was impressed how fast he settled in the team, in the country. He's also a very professional guy, nice guy, and I think it helped everyone to be able to play with him, to speak with him, and I'm honestly he's my friend, and I'm proud of him and what he did for the club, for football in Australia.
Yes, he's been a fantastic addition to the A-League in the 5 years now, and it's due to extend that to 8 years, having signed a 3-year contract extension with us. So we are very much looking forward to having him here for the rest of his career, and also potentially even longer. Now he's trying to become an Australian citizen. But that season, his first season, and obviously your second season with the club, or should I say probably third, really, if you count the last half of the 2014. We didn't do as well, but we were in the Champions League for that squad of players got into the Champions League and actually went further than any Sydney FC has ever gone before. Team has gone before in the Champions League, and partly down to a particular goal that you actually scored. I seem to remember very early on in the tournament. Do you want to take us through that particular goal against Guangzhou?
Yes, it was a difficult game because they are very good, a big club in Asia with a lot of money, and they bring many good players. And it was not an easy situation for us because we are playing in the A-League, in the Champions League, and we honestly needed to win this game for the competition, but also for us, for the confidence, for the fans, the coach, for everyone. So it was a good goal, but it was also an important goal for the win and for the next game and for the rest of the season. Dave?
Sorry, Milos, I'm back with you now.
Yeah,
because they were rated as the biggest or the best team in Asia at the time and most successful, and they had Jackson Martinez, a $56 million striker, on board, and they came to Allianz Stadium. We beat them 2-1, and after that, 2 wins against Pohang, we ended up finishing top of the league, and essentially went through to the last 16, which was the best finish by any Sydney FC team in our history so far. Obviously, we want to go further, but were you surprised by how successful we were that season in the Champions League?
Not because we had a very good team, and no. The most difficult was the traveling, honestly, because we were traveling to Asia to play Champions League on the Tuesday or Wednesday, coming back to Australia. Going to Melbourne or Perth or Adelaide to play A-League games, then going again to a Champions League game. So the most difficult was the traveling and the organization around all these games, because you need to have a big group of good players to play both competition. But no, I was sure that we can go through, and it was not easy, because at the end I think we lost against Shandong. We didn't lost. We draw at home. We are
away goals.
Yes, we are winning. I think 2-1, and the score for the 2-2, and we go left out, but. It was a very good experience to play the Champions League with Sydney, of course.
Yeah, and the next season, obviously, we were disappointed by the loss in the Champions League, which was in the last minute. But in fact, it was a draw, but away goals, it was a loss. But next season was the best season, still is the best season in Hyundai A-League history by any team. The current team are going to get very close to that once we get back on the pitch. But what was that like to be a part of that record-breaking season? We obviously brought in a lot of new players, changed the squad up a bit. But for you, how did you enjoy that season and winning the double?
Yeah, it was unbelievable, amazing, because there is this type of season when everything is perfect. Almost every training, every games, all the players really are focused and giving 100% on and off the pitch. All the staff, we were all together. Everything was almost perfect, and at the end of the day, we won everything, and we knew when we started this season, we knew that we will win everything, because sometimes you can feel the atmosphere, you can feel all the players focused 100%, ready to fight and to win every single game. And it was a very, very good experience for me, for all the players, and really I will remember this season and all these trophies until the end of my life, because all this group of players are now like friends, family for me, and I was very, very happy in the end.
Do you still keep in touch? You mentioned Milos Ninkovic, but do you still keep in touch with any of the other Sydney FC players that you played with during your time?
Yeah, a few of them through social media, and also few on WhatsApp. It's not easy because I am here in Europe. It's not the same time, so it's not easy. But through social media and WhatsApp, I'm very good friend with Shane Schmelz, we are talking very often. He was my guest here in Serbia 2 years ago, I think. I saw also Zach Anderson in Paris last year. I am in contact with few of them, and it's good to keep in touch.
Yeah, when was the last time you spoke with Milos?
He tried to call me a few days ago, but I was sleeping, so we didn't talk to each other. But we are in contact. We are in contact.
Well, that's nice to hear. Apart from obviously that being your final season, you didn't play any more football when you left Sydney FC. So why not? Did you just decide to that was the good point to retire once the grand final win and the double had come about? There was suggestions you might have had offers in the A-League, but you decided to move closer to family in Serbia.
Yes, the situation was a bit difficult for me because I had actually another year contract with Sydney FC, but after we won everything and this last season I didn't play a lot, and I was also I was missing home and Europe. So I spoke with the club, with the coach, and I decided to try to come back in Europe and to play in Europe another 1, 2, or 3 seasons. I was 33 when I left the club, and so I came back in Europe trying to find another club. But I had this opportunity of business to create this good business in the medical, and I told myself it is the good time because there is a life after football, and for all professional sports players, it's not easy when you stop playing because almost all your life you've been playing football, and a lot of people, players after the career don't know what to do because it's not easy to find the way to keep you busy, keep working, do something. So it was a very good opportunity for me. I created this company and this medical device with 2 other friends, also football players. So it was, I think it was a good time, and the thing that I had this opportunity, and at this time of my career, it was a sign for me to stop playing, and I am honestly happy with my choice because now I am active in a business way, and I enjoy my job, and it was a good choice because sometimes when you have an opportunity, you need to take it now because after it's maybe gone. And I am happy with my choice. Of course, I miss playing football, but everyone will stop one day, and you need to be ready, and you need to prepare it and to know what you will do after. So this is an advice for every football players. There is a life after football, and you can also enjoy working and be busy and traveling and doing other stuff than football.
Well, fantastic to hear, Milos. I'll just run through a couple of quick questions from some of our fans who have commented on the Facebook page. A couple of people are asking what you're currently doing, but you've just answered that. Do you wish you'd stayed for the period of dominance since the grand final win of 2017? Because we've won trophies every year since. That was from Dave. From Dave, a question from Dave asking if you wished you'd stayed for a little bit longer or not. You're happy with your decision?
Oh yeah, I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay a bit longer, because I'm very happy in Sydney FC, but also in Sydney, in Australia, enjoying my time. But like I said to you, I had this opportunity of business, and it was. It was the time to stop and come back in Europe. Also for me, for my family, I missed everyone. I grew up in Europe, Serbia, France. For me, it's Europe. You can take a flight 2 hours. Serbia, France, Italy, Spain. It's different. In Australia, I was far from everyone, from all the family, and few years it's okay, but more than that, it's difficult.
Just one final one from Jonathan. Are there any current Serbians that you could recommend to Steve Corica?
Oh, of course, many players. In Serbia, we have a lot of good players, and some of them the good ones are expensive, but I am of course always ready to help Sydney FC to have good players. I didn't spoke with Steve Corica for a while, but we are very good. We have a very good relation, and maybe one day, I will bring another Milos Ninkovic to Sydney FC.
We definitely like the sound of that, Milos. Fantastic stuff. Well, we hope to see you back here one day. We'll let you go and get on with your busy day over in Serbia. And thank you very much for joining us this evening. Let us know when you're coming back, and of course, always welcome to the club for a game, or to come back to the place where I am here at the training ground. Do you recognise it still?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I spent a few days.
Yeah, exactly. Come and have lunch sometime. Thanks very much for joining us,
yeah.
Milos. It's been fantastic.
Thank you for the invitation, and good luck for the rest of the season. And hopefully I will see you again very soon.
Cheers, Milos.
Bye, everyone. Bye.